Because I don't like thinking about it very much. Because I have a lot of very horrific memories from childhood. And I was abused and tortured by an organized snuff film pornography ring in Pittsburgh who've ascended through law enforcement to terrorize me to the present hour. I find it difficult to think very carefully about everything that goes on in the argumentation field pertaining to UW Dialectical's charm school. I have some books which are strangely indexed on various subjects pertaining to trafficking. I know that there's some questions about how organized pornography traffic people. I was trafficked by them. But I've also talked to women who were liberated who believe that you have to be careful. If you look at things that are legitimate about human sexuality, people with Parkinson's, for example, are known to engage in autoerotic behavior. You have to be able to differentiate between right and wrong. For example, we don't know everything that should be known about Gail Raven and Jack Ruby, but we do know that Jack Ruby and Charlie Manson were both doing pornography and both had the same psychiatrist. So you start to see in the RX indexing of erotic and exotic publications that there's a very dastardly limit that's breached where they turn it into a sort of concentration camp. And you're jumped on at that breach by people who say, wait a minute, we're vulgarians, that's what we want. So it's tragic. For the parent companies and the magistrates, should it ever come to pass, that I'm asked or demanded to share the Reuter mag, the mag that's Reuter. John Currents in 7-Eleven said what he poured out of a bong was the weirdest thing he'd ever seen. They did no business showing this image to a child, and I'm not going to show it to anybody, even an adult. I have it taped up. But they showed it to me as a child from the Soldier of Fortune magazine that they never should have been allowed to do it. And they've been, Michael Reagan's research assistants have been trying to get it out. They're like, oh, we'll kill somebody if we don't get to see it. I don't want anybody to see it. But if it's demanded to show these, to turn these over to the courts or the parent companies to show what it is that happened, I have scrapbooks of what I consider to be within reason, within the reason of taste. I'm not selling anything. I'm not George Shulman. I'm not the allies of this carnivorous circus. But, you know, Jack Ruby's bedfellow, Melvin Belly, being down from Star Trek with, the whole thing is being a flytrap gig that the Beatles dreamed up, and as a Slipknot, they masqueraded Lennon's death so that it gives them, Slipknot. They get away with it by saying, "Oh no, we're just the usual honky tonk."